Holy shit, it's almost the end of the year. It went fast.
Yeah.
It's MVP Podcast Live. It is almost 2022.
That quick.
That quick.
That quick.
We have lived through a lot.
We have lived through a pandemic.
Gorilla Glue Girl.
We have lived through not getting new consoles. Graphics cards.
Did I say Gorilla Glue Girl? That's all I got.
Who's Gorilla Glue?
What?
Gorilla
You don't
Glue?
know about that?
I don't.
You don't know about the woman who like put Gorilla Glue in her hair?
Oh, I forgot about her.
That was this year.
That was this year.
Long ass year.
Long as just long day.
We opened with the insurrection.
Holy shit, that was this year.
Damn.
Our government damn near got overthrown.
Right.
I'm the Charm City Champ. I am joined here on camera by the owner, the operator, the self-proclaimed king. I proclaim it too.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do. Sha-na-na.
I hope you are old enough to know that reference.
If you met Jesus, then you may remember
It's King
that
Goddess.
show. I'm here. I'm joining you guys.
Off camera, we got the Duke of Games.
Yeah, I'm on punishment this week, guys.
Get off camera, you.
Get back in your cave.
Produces Nasty Nate.
What's up, y'all?
Naughty jungle of love.
Bruce.
Most definitely.
We got a jam-packed show that we got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, we did.
So, like I said, time got away from me. So we normally do, well, I won't say normally, because last year was the first annual, the inaugural. I said, that gets on my nerves when people say first annual. And I said I wasn't going to do it.
And you did it.
And I did it.
You did.
It's inaugural. There's no such thing.
You get in the cage with Duke.
God, I did do it. You just do it. Last year was the inaugural MVP Awards. This year is coming around the corner. It's the second annual MVP Awards.
Yeah. We're back at it like Craftmatic that fast. It didn't take that long.
Freaking fast. So what we try to do to keep MVP Awards
fresh,
and make it a little more special and spicy, baby.
Okay.
Is we try to think of some like original categories that you won't see anywhere else. I mean, obviously we got to do like Game of the Year. We got to do
that's that.
But we'll see from there. Talk about some creativity. We also gotta talk about Guardians of the Galaxy because I've been playing it,
and I didn't know it was out.
What?
You've been playing it, I didn't know it was out.
And I think people are being too hard on it, so I'm gonna go talk about that a little later.
I actually saw pretty good reviews on it. Not bad, but people were like, okay.
Yeah, so critics are pretty much being. I've seen it. Duke, you want to say something?
I just felt like the game was announced like 2 weeks ago.
Agreed. Right. I'm with Duke.
It did come out of. I don't want to say come out of nowhere. So it was announced August. Square Enix did their little E3 presser.
Okay.
Which technically wasn't E3 because nobody was there, but Square Enix did a presser like in July or August, and that's when we first seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
But then they also do Marvel.
Hey, look, we don't speak of that.
And I think that if there's any reason Guardians of the Galaxy is beating up, I think is because they still have Marvel on their palette. So
totally get that. Avengers is no bueno. I won't say it's no bueno, right? The solo campaign, very fun, very good, totally very good story, graphically, very impressive.
Okay.
But it was that post game. It's like Square Enix tried to do a little too much, got a little too much dip on their chip with Avengers. They tried to have this like real like Naughty Dog-esque, Insomniac-esque solo campaign and also throw in some Destiny-inspired post-game multiplayer.
Right.
And that sucked.
That world amalgamation didn't quite pan out the way they wanted it to.
So I 100% get it that people seeing Avengers and they see Square Enix's name and they see another Marvel game made by Square Enix and they're like, yucca poo poo.
Keep giving it to us, huh? Whether we want it or not.
But relax. because this is not made by the same team.
That's
This is
right.
made by Eidos
Right.
Montreal.
Right.
You know what masterpiece they made? Deus Ex
I played Deus Ex.
And Tomb Raider, right?
and Tomb Raider. I don't know if that's the exact same team, but yeah, Eidos is where Tomb Raider and Hitman came from. But this specific team works on Deus Ex. So they released Guardians of the Galaxy recently. If I had to describe Guardians of the Galaxy in 4 words, a funny Mass Effect.
Okay.
It is Mass Effect, but like actually funny. Not saying that Mass Effect doesn't have its comedic moments,
Right. But this is catered
But,
toward Guardians of the Galaxy, which is more comedic.
Yeah.
So,
This team was very heavily inspired.
Lighthearted.
A ragtag gang of misfits.
Yeah, there you go.
But so this team was obviously, the second you pop this game in, you can see that they were heavily inspired by BioWare games.
Right.
You play as the leader of the group, Star-Lord. You don't get to control anybody else.
So Star-Lord, not Black Panther Star-Lord.
Not the cool Star-Lord.
All right.
The
Which may be DLC. You
but
never
also
know.
not Chris Pratt. So that's
Okay.
you're kind of in between. You're not T'Challa, but at least you're not Chris Pratt.
All right. So.
It's Mario.
Oh, yeah, Chris Pratt's too busy being Mario.
He is too busy. With Mario.
So, yeah, you only play as Chris Pratt, but just like Commander Shepard, you control your squad around you. So you issue these commands, and they kind of help you out in combat.
Okay.
Or yeah.
But in Mass Effect,
Mm-hmm.
do you get to sleep with Rocket?
Rocket?
There's a reason why he's called Rocket.
Yo! Axe the Groot.
All right,
No.
so they didn't go that deep into the Mass Effect system, huh?
So I can't, I'm 6 hours in.
Okay, so
I
you
have
can't
not
confirm
gotten
or
to have
deny.
sex. No, I've not had sex with anyone.
You have not gotten Rocket alone in the sick bay.
There are scenes where you do get to flirt with people.
Okay,
So that's still on the table.
all right.
But so yeah, you get to control everybody around you. The one thing that stands out right away is, like I said before, and I keep sending this home, the dialogue is so well written.
Okay,
It's so funny. It's very much
Witty
heavily
and-
inspired by MCU
Right.
Guardians.
Okay,
Not a bad thing. Like a lot of people, I see people like they're saying, "Brad, that kind of looks like Chris Pratt. That kind of looks like what's the woman that plays Gamora?
Zala
Zaza Zaza.
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe
Giancarlo Esposito.
Carlo Esposito.
Luke
Zoe
Long.
Saldana.
Yes. Drax looks like Batista. So what? It's good. I like that. I like those movies. If they want to seek inspiration from a good thing, so what?
Seek and you shall receive.
Yeah, man. And I think they nailed it. Like, these characters and the representation in the game are just as lovable, if not more lovable, than their MCU counterparts.
Good. All right. Well, GG's. Looks like y'all actually did a good job with. Is it on Xbox?
It is on literally everything. Switch version
With the Game
is
Pass. It's not on Game Pass, is it?
no, not on
Okay.
Game Pass. The Switch version is a cloud version, so beware.
All right.
So the bad stuff,
Okay. We knew it was
the
coming.
poo-poo stuff. So like
Duke's throwing stuff.
Duke is already like preemptively pissed off.
I just had a question.
Yeah,
You said it's control like Mass Effect. Is it a party of 3 or
it's a party of I can't count. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Groot, 5.
and you're controlling all of them in the missions?
Not directly. So they are AI
Like giving
controlled
them mission,
themselves. You just
commands.
give them commands like do your special move on that thing,
Okay.
and they go do it.
That should be interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, because Mass Effect caps out at just 2
Mhm.
other AI.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not as in depth as Mass Effect. Because Mass Effect, you can literally be like, stand there,
Right.
hold guard, get behind this cover. You can't do that. All you can do is point at an enemy and say, "I want you to do your special on him."
Trisket saying, Duke.
Hey Trisket, my love, come back so we can be doing podcasts together.
Nobody says my name like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Nobody.
not even Gabby.
Not even my wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be a sad life.
I'm so sorry, Gabby. You deserve.
So that actually is a good point. Actually taking me to the bad part where It's so heavily inspired by Mass Effect, but when you seek inspiration from something and you don't quite match the quality, it's always kind of sticks out.
Right.
Like it's like Mass Effect's little baby brother. Like
Right.
it never really hits the highs.
But it's better than Andromeda?
Oof. I didn't play Andromeda after the patches. I played Andromeda at launch. I would definitely say at launch, this is better than what Andromeda was.
Played Andromeda after patches.
Yeah.
Waited.
Nino says, champ.
Well, hey, see, here it is. That's
Somebody,
love.
somebody loves you.
It was a
Somebody.
little weak. It wasn't as many M's.
I don't see it's like capital letters. It's just like capitalized C. It's okay.
It's like champ.
I appreciate it.
Baby steps. Take what you can get.
You gotta get more fans, man.
But yeah, it's trying, but it's just not quite there. But the thing is I don't knock it for that because every game, and I think this is just like the nature of where we are now, is if a game is not like freaking what's like the upper echelon of gaming, like
Metroid Dread.
like if it's not a Metroid Dread, if it's not a freaking Last of Us, if it's not a freaking what did you say?
Final Fantasy 14.
It's not a final. Yes, if it's not Final Fantasy 14, then it's automatically shit. And
Right.
like, it's not like everything doesn't have
Say
to
that
be.
again, champ. Like you need to say that again.
If it's not FF14,
It's automatically what?
it's shit.
End of the podcast.
Don't-
Thank you for joining this week's episode. Thank you so much.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that. But yeah, it's okay for a game to be okay.
I was about to say yes. Okay for a game to be okay, mediocre. That's
Yeah,
fine.
just like movies. Like
Yeah.
John Wick is not going to win an Oscar.
Well, speaking of Chris Pratt, the movie that he just played in, what was it?
Oh,
Yeah.
the Amazon
Yeah,
thing.
no, the one where he had to go in the future to fight the aliens.
That's the Amazon movie.
Oh, is that what it's called?
That's not what it's called, but it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, that movie was just okay. It was
Yeah,
just something to watch.
and it's okay.
Yeah, it's just okay. All right.
It's good, dumb
There you go. Brainless fun.
junk food.
Yeah.
And like Guardians is a great, like it's definitely worth the investment. I'm playing it on PS5. It has DualSense support. It's there, but it's not annoying like a lot of PS5 exclusives, which I appreciate. Like certain vibrations feel different than other vibrations, and the triggers kind of do come in play. Oh, that's a good point. Like this is a very weird thing to harp on, but I really love this game mechanic, active reloading. I love active reloading, like in Gears.
Yeah.
Like Gears created it,
Yeah.
and I wish more people would steal it.
Yeah. If you don't load correctly, you jam all up.
But it just makes reloading fun and engaging.
Especially when you're going like through it, like it makes the fight that more. When it's a hardcore fight, you're getting bogged down and you're trying to. It could be a gift and a curse, not a gift and curse, but it makes the game more engaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yep.
So I got news for you.
But
Try out Resident Evil 4 Virtual.
no,
Because
shut up.
their reload.
Yeah.
Like you can really fuck it up. Like and not reload your gun.
Yeah, I
like
heard.
in the middle of a
I'm
firefight.
surprised you haven't got your hands on that. Yeah,
I don't have an
it's really good.
Oculus because I hate Big Brother. And you have to like give your soul away to Facebook in order to have an Oculus, but I
Yeah,
might
you
have
did.
to cave.
It's not coming to the PlayStation 5.
It probably is. It's gonna have like a year exclusivity, maybe.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, it had good things about the Resident Evil 4 Oculus. You may have to get
I
it
love VR.
in VR. loves
You have a
it.
Facebook, just join.
Damn
Yeah.
it!
Like,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
already know
like you already
everything
have one.
everywhere.
Like,
Yeah.
Damn it! Whatever.
use MAP's Facebook.
Slacker.
But yeah, give Guardians a try. So I would say give Guardians a try. If you're a super fan of the Guardians IP, give it a try.
Do it.
It's great.
Do it.
I'm loving it.
Do it.
Do the thing.
Do it.
PlayStation.
Do it.
Speaking of PlayStation,
Do it.
well, let's pretend I did that segue really good. Speaking of PlayStation, we just had a state of play.
We did watch State of Play. I missed the first couple minutes of it.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Even from what I watched overall, there wasn't anything that I was like, all right, I got it.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
I gotta get that. It was just like,
And I'm
okay.
saying this as a Sony fanboy.
Yeah.
So
I want my 30 minutes back.
very weird. Like they made it. So I appreciate they made it a point to say, like they came out ahead of time and said, this is only gonna be third-party stuff.
right.
But we still like, so whenever any company announces these things, everybody's like expectations to the moon. Oh,
Right.
we're seeing Final Fantasy 16, baby.
Right.
We're
Actual
seeing
gameplay. We're
freaking-
seeing all the stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, all
and
the
it's
good
coming
stuff.
out tomorrow. And this was not that.
At all.
We got bug snaps.
We got another Star Ocean.
All right, let's
All right,
go through it in order. We got a game called Deathverse Let It Die, which looks like a melee battle royal.
Is it made by the same people that made that PlayStation 4 free game, Let It Die?
That's what I thought.
Like, I was wondering, was it like a LP of that?
No, so Let It Die was made by Grasshopper Manufacturer. That's the people who make No More Heroes and Suda 51. He
Okay.
makes,
Shoot.
that's his dev company. So no, this is made by another indie dev that I've never heard of, but it looks like a melee battle royale, which we are like lousy with now. Like, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Why throw your hat in that ring?
Yeah, the next and last one I'm doing is the Final Fantasy VII mobile one.
Yeah, I mean, which I am actually
Yeah.
curious about. But yeah, that showed
Yeah,
off.
that's such a dead horse to beat on.
Yes. We Are OFK, which is a adventure, like choose your own adventure. I don't know what to call that genre. Like Walking Dead.
Okay.
It's like the Telltale games, but you're
Life
playing.
is Strange. It was giving me Life
Yes.
is Strange vibes.
Yeah. You're playing
I'm
as a
not
rock-
gonna lie.
hmm
I'm slightly interested. I don't know. I'm not gonna like the music, but the
Mhm.
art style and the dialogue looked really good.
Yes, I do like that quirky ass. Life is Strange is a perfect comparison.
I'm
love
really
that-
good at the comparisons.
You
thing.
are.
I really am.
You really are.
Yeah.
Like, we need to keep record. Like, you're batting 1,000.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff.
I've seen something.
So yeah, it gives me that same quirky vibe. Like did Juno start that? Can we date it back to that? Like, when Juno came out and it had that real like quirky, I am a lovable teen kind of thing, and then everybody kind of like took that and ran with it.
Chat,
Yeah.
if you know where he's talking about, please.
You never heard of the
let
movie
me
Juno?
know. I was born in '92.
Juno is
I
not
don't
that
know
old.
Yes,
what-
man. It came out early 2000s.
It was like 2003.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
A person
about.
your age probably wouldn't have watched that though.
Okay.
And don't go back and watch it. You're not missing
Yeah,
anything
it
too
didn't
much.
age well, but that did start that angsty teen
Yes.
type of movie genre.
At that time, that launched both Michael Cera and
And, yeah.
Ellen Page,
Yep.
Elliot Page. I'm sorry, their careers.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
if you're a fan of them two, it probably is good to go.
I
back and
can't
watch.
say I'm a fan. Who's the other one you said?
Michael Cera and
I don't
Michael
even
Cera.
know who Michael
Michael
Cera is.
formerly.
Super bad.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about formerly,
Yeah.
but I mean their work is okay. I've never been like a
Yeah.
fan of it though.
Yeah.
I
Michael
watch
Cera,
Umbrella Academy not because of them.
Michael Cera was Scott Pilgrim,
And he played in Super bad.
and he was.
Venom.
I've seen Superbad.
Really?
He was
I
in
don't
Arrested
remember.
Development series.
I was about to say Arrested
I don't
Development.
remember this stuff.
I didn't
right
watch the
now.
rest.
He was the skinny one in Superbad.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember at the moment. I need face pics and then I'll get it.
Okay, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's also not gaming related. We're kind of like going off the track, but yeah, I am kind of digging it for that. So I'm willing to give it a try. Then Bug Snacks, baby, it's getting
I know
expansion.
he didn't just say that excitedly.
Hold on. So I played Bug Snacks all the way to completion because it was a.
What is wrong? Is something? Have you seen a therapist? like, what is wrong
I am
with you?
very thorough in my research. I will play anything, especially when it was a PlayStation Plus game. So PS5, I got a PS5 at launch.
right when there was
Look.
absolutely nothing.
I
I don't wanna brag. I don't wanna get-
I got it like 6 or 8 months later.
I ain't got
but,
it.
But if you got it at launch, you could claim Bug Snacks as a PlayStation Plus game, and it's not bad. So, not PlayStation Plus. Bug Snacks is made by the devs who created. I don't know if y'all heard of the game. You probably didn't because you hate independent work. It made Octodad. You remember that game?
I remember Octodad.
Yeah.
The
So they made
orange
that.
octopus.
Yeah. So Bug Snacks still has that charm of Octodad, but it really kind of tightrope walks, kind of being a Pokemon
Okay.
esque game too. So the game deceptively looks like a kid game, but 2 to 3 hours in, it starts covering some very adult themes.
Okay.
Trisket said, donate to the stream for therapy for Champ.
I'm gonna make that like a community goal. 10,000 coins, and I will get a therapist and talk about bucks next to them. Probably go to like a real asylum.
Uber therapist. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be on my help.
What kind of papers do we have to sign in order to stream like a therapy session? That would be fun.
That'd be like a whole waiver on the patient side.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if I am the patient, I give consent, right? Supposedly, as long as we don't talk about like certain things. Some things I gotta keep to myself.
I'm about to say they go into everything.
I gotta talk. I don't want to talk about my dad.
Well, he's gonna bring it up. That's the first thing you're gonna bring. What do you hate? Let's go.
I
That's
never
what you
knew
hate.
my
I
father.
understand.
No. So, Bug Snacks is a very fun game. Like I said, they surprisingly talk about some pretty dark and adult stuff, but they do it very well.
Good.
And this is getting apparently a very big expansion for free in January. So,
And it's coming to other consoles.
oh yeah, and Bug Snacks is getting ported to the Xbox and Switch.
Yeah. So now
I'm happy for that because I didn't want that
all
to go down
3
as a PlayStation
frames per
exclusive.
second.
I would be ashamed.
More people need to play Bug Snacks. It's
That's right.
a fun
Spread the love.
game.
As they say, don't hide it, divide it.
And like I said, you're very, very shocked.
Spread the bug.
Spread the
Spread-
bug.
Or spread the snacks.
Nasty Nate.
Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. So a lot of people thought this game was canceled because the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's announced that he was stepping away from the series. But I don't think this game is made by him. I think he allowed like a third party company to
take
develop
the
this
manual
game.
and finish it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was already like out the door
Okay.
by the time he made this decision.
Mm.
So for those of you familiar with the FNAF, it looks like this is going to have the core gameplay of any FNAF where you're controlling cameras and you're jumping from camera to camera, seeing keeping an eye on all the weird ass animatronic things, but it's also blending in some first person horror.
Mm.
Looks like very, I hate to say Outlast inspired because they didn't create it, they just popularized it. But it looks like they're kind of merging that Outlast style gameplay with the traditional FNAF gameplay.
Mm.
And they're making a lot of new animatronic characters. It looks like the only one that's coming back is Freddy himself.
I've never played any Five Nights at Freddy, but I have seen the movie with Nicolas Cage that reminisces Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah,
which was good.
It was called like Banana Gang or something.
Yeah, it was
shit
weird. He
like
didn't
that.
speak the whole movie, but it was actually good. So if it's anything comparable to that, then it may be
I will say Five Nights at Freddy's is legit scary.
okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Willy's Wonderland.
Willie's, I knew it was something dumb.
So yeah,
Have you seen it?
I've seen the cover.
check it.
Did people actually get murked in the movie?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
It's
Now I want to see it.
Nicolas Cage doesn't say a word.
nothing. Not one thing. Also,
It's a great.
Did they
Movie,
not pay
like-
for that part of Nicolas Cage, or like what?
This was around the
So was
an
Mandy.
artistic decision.
Mandy is a good movie as well.
This was around the time where like Nicolas Cage was like in like tax issues or something like that, and like he was like saying yes to every role, like everything that came on his doorstep. Yeah. And like two of them were good.
But it's not a horrible movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
I mean, for an indie movie, it's pretty good. And looking at
yeah, you should check it.
some of the animatronics, which are just oversized costumes, really, but
Mhm.
they did a good job, and the soundtrack is kind of catchy.
All right, I'm
You
gonna check
gotta
it out.
do a MAP movie night.
Mandy is good though.
Mandy
That
is
was
good.
good.
Mandy, yes, that is.
surprise hit. Yeah, check
Mhm.
that. Check that out since you're five. Have you
Then-
played every Five Nights at Freddy?
Yeah, so they're all included in Game Pass, but that's not how I originally played them. I actually have the VR version on PSVR,
Ooh.
and that you will poop yourself. I
Okay.
challenge you not to poop yourself.
Okay.
Or poop yourself challenge.
I
We'll do
poop
that on
myself
stream.
all the time. So.
I'm doing it right now. So yeah, that's coming out. Oh, and that has a date. That's coming out December this year. So that was a shocker. Death's Door is finally coming out to PlayStation. It's on our MAP Power Rankings. Death's Door.
That door.
So it's a blend of. It came out on Xbox and Day One Game Pass earlier in the summer. It's a blend of top-down Zelda with Dark Souls.
Okay.
Really good. You play as a crow who is basically a henchman of Death himself.
Yes. and you
That's
have
I'm
to
starting to
go
ring some bells.
Kill the other crows that
Yeah.
been standing around too long. You've been down here too long.
Yep.
All right.
You gotta die sometimes.
Die, you crow.
Really good. I love the art style. I love the gameplay.
I remember.
It's a short game, but it's good. So all you PlayStation people who didn't have a chance to get it, get that thing.
Get that thing. Get the crow.
Support indie games.
Get
Like
the crow.
Then Kart Rider Drift. Again, like a very weird game to pick to be on this state of play.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a press release, but okay. I played a beta of it earlier this year, and it's fine. It's just I am very skeptical of kart racers that don't have Mario in it.
Crash Kart Racing.
Crash is fine. Duke brought up Jack and
Jack
Daxter's
X.
racing game.
Yeah,
That
Jack
was
X
fine.
I didn't play that one. Someone told me that it's just 64.
Mhm.
That Diddy Kong is better than Mario Kart.
So, all right, here's my thing about that. I appreciate Diddy Kong Racing because it had a campaign. Like, it had a story.
Okay.
And back then, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is actually, like, a narrative here. I don't think it stands the test of time.
Hmm.
I think we, like, are looking at Diddy Kong Racing with our nostalgia shades on, and it was better than Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64, in hindsight, did not age well.
I don't think they started aging well up until GameCube.
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah, the GameCube one, and the Double Dash is
Double
timeless.
Dash is it, yeah.
But Mario Kart 64, those graphics are ass. It was glitches, insane glitches in that game.
They were,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really liked Rainbow Road back then.
I've never liked Rainbow Road.
The track design is fine, but it was just like that game was buggy as hell, and they never they couldn't fix it because the internet wasn't really like it was.
Right. And
But-
it's a cartridge, like
Yeah.
you can't patch cartridge.
Right.
So
But woof, that game like.
You can blow in it.
But yeah, but that game will be free to play early next. What?
Thought it was my knock.
It'll be Kart Rider Drift will be free to play
Okay.
early 2022. So I will be willing to give it a try.
What happened to Mod Racers? I bought that game.
I bought that game too. That was dope. It was made by the people who made Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
And it did not survive.
At all. At all.
Well, like Little Big Planet, that was it's
part of
content
their-
creator based. So it needs people to make tracks and make costumes. And
Right,
Like that. So
and
when
they
they go away.
Yeah, after a while. Like it came out, it was big, and it like
Yep.
dwindled down quick. Yeah, I bought Mod Racers.
Yeah, Sony should bring that back.
They
actually.
should.
Hmm.
Sony.
What is Media Molecule doing? Make
Nothing.
them do
Nothing.
that.
Get back Mod Racers.
Except Dreams.
And then that way, your next PlayStation, what's that thing called? We just watched it. It'll be worse.
State
I
of
don't know,
Play.
but
Yeah,
like,
your
damn
State
near
of Play
all
will be
their
worse.
servers were hacked, so they shut down a lot of the old Little Big Planet. So
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, damn,
I'm
did
pretty
we-
sure
1, 2, and
Live
3
Nation Racer
servers
is
shut
part of
down.
that.
Yeah, this was recently. It was like early this year. Was
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
Probably about 2 months ago.
Here's something you can regale us with. King of Fighters 15
King of Fighters 15.
has a date and a 3 open beta dates.
I did see that. I saw the dates, but I didn't pay attention to them. So I know a lot about the King of Fighters
Mm-hmm.
games. I don't play them all too much. I used to play King of Fighters 98.
Mm-hmm.
King of Fighters 14 came out. It did well in here fighting game wise. I know there's a couple community for it. It was in rotation here for the monthly for like 2-3 months. Then after that, it just kind of like died down. We'll get people to come in and play it casually, but I am looking forward to this one. I think somehow, some way, this one's going to stick around a little bit longer than what the other ones did.
Okay, so as somebody who is like from the outside in, I wouldn't consider myself a part of like the FGC, right?
Right.
Is King of Fighters like a very like? Do you think they're going to latch on to? Obviously, we don't know how good this game is going to be,
Right.
but assuming this is going to be a good game, it looked great.
Right.
It looks like it was running at like at least a lock 60.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to like latch onto this game?
I think so.
Yeah.
King of Fighters always has good big rosters. All they have to do is just keep expand on it. It
Mhm.
looks good, plays good. I don't see why it shouldn't. So it's a 2D fighter,
Yes.
right? So it's not an anime fighter. So it's not like Dragon Ball
Mhm.
or Blaze Blue or anything like that. It's more
Mhm.
reminiscent of Street Fighter. So
Mhm.
it has those type of quarter circle moves, which every fighting game does. King of Fighters is notorious for some of the moves being a lot to input, you know. Yeah. Like some of those moves are you gotta have quick hands for. I don't know if they've kind of refined those and made them not as extensive. But King of Fighters, some of those special moves you gotta have quick fingers for. But it's always been a standard, basic fighting game. It's always been a staple, and it always sells well. You know, let me rephrase, not sells well. It always does well. It always has communities, but it doesn't have the staying allure like a Street Fighter. Usually for every fighting game tournament we do, we have enough people for Street Fighter.
So I know y'all do Guilty Gear. Well, I don't want to say y'all because I'm here too. I know MAP does Guilty Gear Strive.
Yes, and to my surprise, Strive is sticking around longer than what I thought, and it has a bigger community than what I thought. You know, usually when a fighting game first comes out, that's what everybody's playing. You know, so here at MAP we have a big Tekken crowd, then maybe Street Fighter crowd, then like now Guilty Gear. But in the past, you know, it was Tekken, Street Fighter, and let's just say Street Fighter 4. Then Guilty Gear came out, and now everybody's playing Guilty Gear. So, you know, we have like 35 people playing Guilty Gear, you know, 20 people playing Tekken, 20, you know, so on and so forth. So the number has dwindled down for Guilty Gear to be comparable to what Tekken and Street Fighter's doing here. And it's staying that way. It hasn't like kept going down like all the other games. So for an example, when King of Fighters 14 first came out, we had 30 people, and first month it came out, 20 people, 10 people. Now we're just, you know, it's the free game. If we have, 5 or 6 people, we'll just give. But I think this one's going to stick around a little bit longer. I've been hearing more whispers in the FGC about it. So GG's hopefully for Final Fantasy. King of Fighters.
Freudian slip.
I'm waiting for Soul Calibur to do something right.
Again, that's another one. Soul Calibur was pretty popular here and dwindled down. There's still a big community for it. Maybe just not here, and maybe we're just not, maybe we're not putting in enough pot bonuses to get the people in. But
what was the last one? 5?
6.
There was a 6?
Yeah,
6.
we're at 6.
Yeah, 6.
The issue is that 6 didn't have enough casual content.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, so like the casual fan base of 6 just didn't buy in.
Oh, you know what? 6 was the one where like you could like super customize fighters, right? Like,
I mean, that's
all
damn near all.
That's all of them?
Yeah, that's all of them. But yeah, it was just the lack of it being Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 2 brought bullies and victims together.
Yeah.
I stand by that.
Yeah, that could be a little toxic when you because it turns victims off sometimes. When you just, especially for, tournaments. So for an example, for the fighting game tournament that we just had, we had a big pot coming up. And of course, no casual players wanted to enter into it because they just knew they were going to rip the pot with that big of a pot. The best of the best were coming out. We had a couple people from LA, New York, so these people were coming to play. And if you're not up to par, you're just going to get scraped and scraped on stream, which is even worse.
I was hoping Samurai Showdown would stay a lot longer and just generally across everywhere.
Yeah, Sam Show doesn't. Again, we'll do Sam Show. A lot of the games when they come out are just now side games now. So we'll do a Sam Show. Call it short Sam Show tournament, but it's a side tournament. 5, 6 people, just over in the corner, just rocking it out. So I would hope that, with these new games coming out, that all of these games are staples. Like, people coming in and playing the newest Tekken, the newest Street Fighter, the newest Guilty Gear, the newest King of Fighters. But I know that just can't happen. But, we can only hope. But, yes, King of Fighters 15.
Nice. Next up after that was First Class Trouble. It was a, and again, I don't want to say Among Us like, because Among Us didn't create this genre.
Right.
But it's Among Us like. But it looks like everybody is like in a 1920s 23 skidoo.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of that game. Just look, watching it, I'm just like, is this going to be... it seemed okay. I just wouldn't rush out and buy it.
So it's already out on PC in early access. So it's available now on
It's already
Steam.
out. So look at
Yeah,
that.
it looks like it leans. It obviously it apes the. It's riding the coattails of the popularity of Among Us, where it's a social deduction game. You're playing with a group of I think 10 to 12 people. One of you is the killer. You have to figure out who that is while the killers run around offing you, and it looks like it's trying to get its claim to fame by creating these hilarious death animations, because it looks like once you die, you just hilariously ragdoll down and blah, blah, blah. So the big news, relatively, because this whole state of play didn't really have any big news, but the big news in pertinence to this game is that it's day one PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
So yeah, when it gets comes out this Tuesday, it's going to be PlayStation Plus, the PS4 and PS5 version.
All right. Is there, I mean, a difference in PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5?
I would imagine probably just performance.
Okay.
The art style of this game doesn't look like it's going to have like super graphic fidelity differences.
Okay.
But probably just like frame rate, performance, stuff like that.
You still have your 4?
I don't,
Okay.
because you can just play 4 games on your 5.
Right.
Except for, so I didn't learn this. We're having a lot of like these off ramp conversations, but so you know how the PlayStation 4 you could like download those digital PS2 games?
Yes.
Like they put Bully on there,
Right.
and like San Andreas. So I had the Warriors, Rockstar's The Warriors.
Right. They did put that back out.
And Sony came out and said this. They don't run properly on the PS5. And I think it has something to do with the way PS5
emulates.
Yes.
Yeah.
The emulator and their HDR. Like when they do HDR.
Okay.
So like fonts are missing, and sometimes there's a lot of like graphical glitches. So like I can't even play the Warriors anymore. So I mean, not that it's like
right. End all be all,
fantastic
but
game,
still,
but-
pay for a game and you can't play it because you upgraded your system.
jerks. Star Ocean.
Star Ocean. I played the last Star Ocean. Hino let me borrow his. Actually, I still own it.
The
Mhm.
one where
I
like
still
the
have you.
entire party walks around the map with you.
Yes.
Okay. Haven't played that one yet.
I never got into the. I'm an RPG MMO person. I never got into the Star Ocean series for some odd reason. I think I vaguely remember playing it on the SNES, and that was about it. Carl is more into Star Ocean than what I am. He could probably tell you way more than what I can. Semi interesting. I may pick it up down the line somewhere, but my cup has been running over because I am back on Final Fantasy 14. Which
Nice.
I was on last night. I meant to text you. Picked up Blue Mage. Different. But yeah, Star Ocean, not a bad RPG series if you're into RPGs. I'm pretty sure it's one of those things, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's just actually no. Looking at this one, it looks like it plays like
Because the other ones, there aren't live. It's not a live action, right?
right. You
It's
run to the
turn-based.
enemy and
No,
you do-
no. It's still action, but like you have to run into the enemy for it to
Right.
change into the field.
But this one is
like a
Oh.
Tales Up
like-
game. This seems like it's all in the
Yeah,
same
Fantasy
area.
Star. You can actually
Yeah.
just walk up and just start swinging on the enemy.
Okay, so the old ones were kind of like how the latest Dragon Quest was, where you still have to like bump into the enemy, and then it goes. It's like this small area.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you
fight,
okay.
yeah.
And this one is just like you're in the open world. And
Yeah,
you just
That's what it
Open
looks
world
like.
shit.
for it,
Yeah. So that's a little different spin on it, and I can see how that could work on this type of game. So yeah, I'll probably grab it maybe down the line when it.
It looks a little rough. I'm hoping that it
Yeah,
has
it
some more
did,
time
and I was just about to say that
refine.
it did look a little rough for the PlayStation to be so late in the. Yeah, I'm looking at those graphics, especially when the girl was in the ship. I was just like,
That's what I was about
Yeah.
to ask.
But
like,
Star Ocean's never been like cream of the crop either.
yeah,
So that's
it's never been this graphical powerhouse. It's no Final Fantasy,
but it's the same devs, is it not?
No,
Like,
it's
why
more
can't-
like Square Enix gives them the money to allow them to make the game type thing.
Yeah.
Like, so Tri-Ace is like under the wheelhouse,
Mm,
and Tri-Ace is who's developing it, and they have never had the economics to do
right.
what
make it.
Square's main group does.
That just blows me away that like Final Fantasy VII Remake on last gen looks better than this Star Ocean, which is a PS5 and PS4 game.
By a long shot.
By a landslide.
Like, yeah, it's like night and day. But again, I'm assuming if you're playing, of course, it would help for the game to look good, but you're not playing the Star Ocean. You're not.
Yeah.
No Star Ocean fans walking in here and like, oh, this game's fantastic in 4K. And get it home and be like, oh
It's
god,
never giving that.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, like, I've never been the guy that's like graphics first, graphics first, graphics
Oh,
first.
that's clear.
But but I do think that it's the elephant in the room, and it had to be addressed. That, like,
yeah, it's
why?
just like the hair, like just it looks like you can see the pixels
hair.
and
Yeah, good.
it looks really weird. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's literally looks rough. Like there's no smoothing that's happening
Mhm.
on the edges.
A lot of anti-aliasing.
yeah. It was comparable to what was the Marvel fighting game that came out and looked a little crappy? People were complaining about it. It just looked off. Was that?
Infinite.
yeah. People like looking at Chung-Li's Dante's face like,
Oh my
"Ugh,
god,
Oof.
it's a little rough.
that was so rough.
And
then
now we need that therapist. 'Cause I wanted to forget that.
Yeah. But again, I'll probably grab it. You know, unfortunately, I'll grab it when it's like $20 ish or so, when I could just kind of grab it in. My problem now is I don't finish games. Like I'll start a game, and the game will be fun.
Mhm.
I'll play it.
Mhm.
You know, I can put a game down for a day or two, but once I put a game down for any more than like a week, it's hard for me to come back to it.
I'm trying to. So this is just a new problem with me now because. So I think we are in this area where like a lot of games were delayed due to the early start of the pandemic,
Right.
and now we're getting a influx
yeah.
of all those games that were supposed to come out
Mm-hmm.
and games that are still on schedule, and like it looks like it's not going to stop. Like,
Like February is jam.
woo,
Yeah.
February is jam packed coming up.
I don't know if it's ever going to stop. Like I think we're going to go through the summer, and it's so many games that we know
But
are coming out.
They're
next year.
already going to be delayed again. Like let's be clear.
I do think that both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, one of them are going to get delayed to 2023.
Yeah, they can't have both of them coming
I
out back
doubt
to back.
it.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. I don't think they want to admit it yet. I think they're just having high hopes. One of those are getting delayed.
Mhm.
I hope not Suicide Squad. 'Cause that one they both look really good. But I think, personally, I'm more excited about Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I've had the Batman games are great, but I had my fill of Batman games.
Yeah.
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 And I think Suicide Squad just is going to be that
New,
refreshing.
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Arkham City was amazing, and I like damn near platinum.
Yes.
But they couldn't bring me back for Arkham Knight. I wasn't as invested.
That Batmobile sucks. That game would be great. That game would be perfect if it wasn't for that. Like, why? Batman in Arkham City, you can get from one side of the city to the other so quickly as Batman.
Mhm.
They had to throw something new in. Like, what are we gonna do this time that we didn't do last time? You know, they have to up the ante.
But here's the thing. So, like, they created the Batmobile, and then they QA'd it. And they realized that people would just rather fly around as Batman. So they were like, damn, we already did all this coding to put the Batmobile in here. Let's make missions that force you to use the Batmobile. And then people we're getting pissed. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I want to be Batman.
I don't want to race. This is stupid.
I want to be Batman.
We're all about to die.
Yeah.
Why am I doing
Yeah,
races?
The goddamn city's about to blow up, and I'm racing this guy.
I made this go-kart track.
Right.
Batman.
And a Honda Civic. He's you never catch me, Batman. What, the Joker's blowing up? What are you doing? This guy's muffler. Yeah, he'll chase him down, get you. God damn it.
I don't know why that tickled me so much. All right, so finally, Little Devil Inside, which is a game that I was bitching about so much because PlayStation first revealed it at the first PS5 State of Play.
Right.
And this is the second time we've seen it a whole year later. It still doesn't have a date. It just said 2022, I think. I don't even know if it said 2022. I think it just went off.
So I was trying to figure that game. So it almost looks like a paper mache-ish game. And unfortunately, I was listening to it, but a couple people were talking to me.
Yeah.
So there was an older guy narrating while the gentleman was doing stuff. So so the gentleman started out on the train.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got out. There was some sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went into some house. Then I seen him get thrown into a pool. There was an octopus in the pool. Then I seen him kind of like fighting these little ghouls, and I seen him stab one
Mm-hmm.
and throw one into the other. So is it a role playing game or is it like a Zelda type of open world game or?
So when I
It's
first,
bad. It's bad that I'm asking him, and I literally just watched the developers tell me all about the game, and I gotta.
I'm just gonna give you the meat. I'm not gonna sit there and brag.
He speaks
Oh,
indie.
yeah.
You're asking the right.
Okay.
person. He speaks indie.
So yeah, at first, so the combat and exploration definitely gives me Zelda vibes. I don't know if so. The second when they show you and they show the map zoom out, the first thing I was like is this map's pretty big,
Okay.
but it doesn't look like it's open world. I thought it was open world. It looks like it may be a little linear, where like it struck me, I guess comparably maybe to like Monster Hunter,
Okay.
where it's not an open world. There's just a lot of open areas
Like
that you can travel to.
Open instance that you
Yes.
kind of warp to.
So
Okay.
that's which doesn't turn me off.
Is it
It's Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
which I did not
Yes.
play?
Yes.
I never played it. Is it level based or is it did you get to like upgrade your character? Is there some sort of upgrades or you are what you are?
They ain't
and-
tell us that part.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only things they showed off, there looks like there is a cooking element, like
Okay.
Breath of the Wild.
Alright.
Not Breath of, I mean, obviously Breath of the Wild didn't make it, but looks like there's a cooking element where you have to like get around a campfire and make your food, and that's how you like regen health or buff yourself so you can last in like cold weather or hot weather.
Okay.
Combat very reminiscent of Zelda. The traversal, it looks like the way you get from like hub area to hub area is through a train.
Okay. I did see that. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm on the train. All
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, I am a tad bit bummed that it looks like it's not a continuous open world, but
Mm.
I'm still intrigued enough to like I want to see this. I still want to see this. It's gorgeous.
Well, maybe it might be open more. Maybe they'll.
Maybe I misinterpreted.
Maybe so.
I doubt it.
Well, yeah, I agree. But we can only hope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was slightly disappointed. I thought the child was evil that we saw in the beginning, and I was like, "Ooh, what's happening?" And then-
What you jump there?
I mean, it was like it's called the little devil inside, and I thought the little kid was,
I'm gonna be
a little
upset
devil.
if you predicted the ending based off of that very light,
Right, presumptuous. Yeah.
It's like,
just drawn at hers, and you really predicted the twist.
that's all I thought. And then, like, it swung around the pole and then left ominously. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like, so we gotta help the kid. I like this.
So yeah, that was the PlayStation State of Play. It was
Lackluster.
I just don't get why you did it.
I wouldn't even use the word it needs a new term. Because you said lukewarm, and I was like, it ain't nothing luke about it. It's just.
So I say
Oof.
lukewarm because there was some news that I'm like, all right, I'd like that news, but
Mm-mm.
I would not. Don't make me sit and watch. Well, not they didn't make me,
Right,
but
but
don't-
don't hype you up to think that you're gonna
You
hit
know,
something.
I've been watching a lot of videos about women complaining about men never finding the clitoris, and I feel like this was that state of play. Like, it was just a long, roundabout way of
And you-
not making me happy.
And then after it was done, you're just like, that was it.
That was it.
That's
You're
it.
done.
That's it.
You finished.
And you're just
And
sitting there
I'm not.
screen, right,
I haven't
at all.
finished. Like,
you're a kid. Go ask your parents what a clitoris.
Ask your mom, not your dad.
Right. Yeah.
Because he wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. Poor dad.
Oh my god! So we're gonna get in trouble for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, we said way worse stuff than that.
So we've been running all month. We've been running a horror game tournament. 32 games. We're trying to find out what the best horror game of all time is. We had first-person games in the bracket, 16 first-person horror games, 16 third-person horror games, all going at it.
Back to back to back to back.
IG voted, so you can't be mad at us up until this point. So we made it all the way to the semifinals thanks to IG. So the two matches left are Outlast versus Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 versus Silent Hill 2. Two? Yeah, those are bangers. So IG, I think you did a good job. So a couple things before we get to deciding where we're going with that. I'm shocked PT made it as far as it did for it to not be a game.
It's a genre. Like I said the last time I was up there. Look, it inspired too many damn games.
Yeah, I just think that God, we just been robbed.
Yeah, that just
Yeah.
goes to show you how great that game could have been.
I was
Yeah.
supposed to say I can't even remember the name of it, but it was this PC game that was like heavily inspired by PC, where it was like you were in a home
Mhm.
or something. I think it was like Red something. I don't know, but a woman was in a house alone, and apparently a killer was outside stalking, and the setup and graphics looked amazing and everything. I don't know what happened. It was an indie person,
Huh.
so of course it never finished. I'll find it out, Chad. But but it was inspired by PT, and PT inspired so many
It
great
did.
And we didn't get it.
things.
Damn you, Hideo and Konami.
Damn it.
Damn.
I'm gonna say,
But we got
damn
Death Stranding.
Konami.
We got Death Stranding.
Yay.
All right, thank
Y'all
you. Good night.
No?
Like,
He's just like, I already
Y'all don't want
paid.
this? Yeah.
I already paid Norman Reedus. I might as well make him do something.
Yeah.
Trisket said, "Why Faz not up here?"
Faz made it all the way up to. Let me see if I can find it on my bracket. Text is so small. Faz made it. Did it make out? Oh, Faz didn't make it out the first round.
Mm.
Oof.
It lost to. It got a poor draw.
I think it's just because enough people haven't been able to play it.
And I
either.
think that's
It's a
what it is,
PC.
too.
I mean, it's a PC game.
It
PC
lost to
Masters.
Resident Evil Village in the first round, which I mean, rightfully so. That game is brilliant.
Yeah. Why would you put those side by side?
It was a seeding.
I'm
Faz was
surprised
a low seed.
8 made it. Resident Evil 8 made it further than 7.
No, Resident Evil 8 made it to the second round and lost to FNAF,
Mm.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Which, so I think what happened is, so we called the title of the tournament is Scariest Video Game of All Time. So I
Right.
think people use that as the deciding factor. Like, we're not looking for the best game. We're looking for the scariest game.
And I thought Resident Evil 7
Mhm.
was
Scarier than 8.
creepy.
7's still in it. Seven
is still in it. Yeah, so
7's
8,
in the
yeah,
semifinals.
so, yeah,
8's
yeah.
gone.
8's gone.
Oh,
7's
8's
still-
gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
8
Okay,
is gone.
alright.
7 is it.
Alright.
So, FNAF just got eliminated by Resident Evil 7, which I'm sad about. Right call, though, because 7
Yeah.
is horrifying.
Yeah,
It
especially
is.
virtual.
Oh
Oh my god.
my
Yeah.
God.
Virtual's a
Especially
different
virtual.
beast. Yeah.
Horrifying.
When you get to that part with the little girl,
That little hooker. That little hooker is on something. She was on one.
So,
she will scare a predator away.
Oh my God.
also in the quarterfinals, we had a banger that like really came down to the wire. Resident Evil 2 was going up against Resident Evil 1, and our fan base really couldn't decide.
Mm.
And it ended up Resident Evil 2 just squeaked past.
Squeak.
Really?
Yes.
I voted for 1. Because like my thought process was that because 1 was like you didn't know what was coming, like it was the introduction to the world.
Right.
So 2 couldn't be as scary. That was my thought pattern behind it.
I like that frame of thinking. Also, I think 2 is a little more action based. Like one, not
Yeah.
saying it's not scary because it is,
Right.
especially like the
Yeah,
remake.
2 is far more action based and
Yeah.
less puzzly. I think, but that's what they were going for. You know,
Mm-hmm.
1 was very puzzly and difficult. 1 was difficult, far more difficult than 2, in my opinion.
You know what's not up here?
What?
Dino Crisis.
So I was thinking about that, right? And is Dino Crisis like? Is that scary?
I don't
There-
know.
there
But
are-
it was built to be a competitor.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
it was comparable almost to
Because it's the same team.
yeah, and it's actually just Resident Evil because it still had that same
the same
something's
engine.
about to pop out, and so
Mhm.
you're always on guard. There's the jump scare, so it's
So back in the day, the original, well, I can't say the original because I think there was an original
Mhm.
on Atari Lynx, but the original PC version of Aliens versus Predator,
Yes.
circa 98,
hmm
they actually had on the packaging a coupon. You got a free pair of underwear because it was supposed to be that scary.
that it was giving you a
A free
coupon
pair
for
of big dog underwear.
Okay, all right.
That's a
That's-
promotion. I
that
like
is-
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That was back when like video game marketing like wasn't afraid.
To do stuff like that, yeah.
Always remembered stuff like that. And another thing that shocked me Silent Hill 2 in the quarterfinals beat Dead Space 2 handily.
Wow.
Like, very, like, it was not close.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm a big fan of Silent Hill 2, but I really thought it was going to swing the other way because I know Dead Space, because now there's no Dead
The
Space.
only Silent Hill that I know about is 3.
Three's not bad either.
So I'm in.
Yeah,
so,
it started
like,
to go
which one
downhill
would y'all
after
consider
3.
the scariest? Like, because I technically have not played any of them.
So for me, Silent Hills were. There's a difference between something scaring me and something creeping me out. Like scaring me is like the boo,
Yeah.
but the creeping me is the whole overall ambiance, and that was what I like better with the Silent Hill stuff. The Silent Hill was just always the unknown, so that's what made it creepy. There's the fog, and I just didn't know what was coming, especially when you hear that siren. You're just like, oh god! So you're just walking around waiting. So it was creepy, but that was the whole armor. Resident Evil, and stuff is just popping out. So it's jump scare. So
and the difference for me is like Resident Evil, you're always playing as somebody who's capable of defending themselves. You're always like a Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine. Like, I have no reason to be scared if I'm Chris Redfield.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
a shotgun and even though I know Nemesis is going to come up at some point in time, but I got a rocket launcher. I just got to run around and shoot you.
Outlast fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. Like the very first time I played Outlast and you run it, like the first jump scare,
you had
the
to
real
go
jump scare.
Going to the house and oh yeah.
Yeah, I just turned off the game. Like I was like, wait.
I still haven't finished Outlast.
Neither
Don't
have I.
touch that.
Trisket said, "What about the SCP game or Slendermans?"
So I have never played Slender. Is the game just called Slender, right? I've never played it.
I think it's
Same.
Slender.
The Arrival or something like that.
Yeah, Slenderman: The Arrival. I think.
Yeah, I've never played it, so I couldn't really speak on it myself, and I don't really.
So, I was engaged with it back before it got its remaster and it had like its big upgrades. So back when it was just like PC and the trees was like, that quality that you like, champ.
Yeah.
It was definitely interesting. It had a community on lock as far as like a scary game. They tried to replicate the formula, but it became less scary. Like the idea of just finding paper somewhere.
You want to stop sneak dissing indie games?
I'm not sneak dissing them at all.
Oh, go. So, we are at the semifinals. It's too late because this is the last week of October. So we kind of like got to go into like sudden death. No more IG polls. We got to decide here and now who is going to make it past the semifinals and who is going to be the scariest horror game of all time. So it's just going to be myself, Duke of Games, Nasty Nate in the chat, fingering this. What? Where'd you come from?
Sexy. That's what happens.
Sexy jutsu. So, all right. So we're in the semifinals. The first matchup is Outlast versus Resident Evil 7. To me, this is not as hard as it should be. I immediately want to go Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
But I want to give Outlast.
I want to give Outlast a chance.
Yes.
So we're in agreement.
Perfectly.
We're in agreement.
The chat has said Outlast.
Really?
All right, so we need reasons, chat.
That's Trisket and Hino.
Really?
Interesting.
So I'm like
now here I know one thing about Outlast is the fact that you can't defend yourself.
Uh-huh.
That's number one. Two, the game is like always dark.
Yeah, so you have to
Yeah.
You have to use that camera with night vision sight, and like the batteries run out so
Pretty
quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, I do like that Outlast. Just pointing out, that's why I kind of like Silent Hill franchise a little better, is because you always play as a protagonist who can't defend himself. But for a very large margin of Resident Evil 7, you play as a pretty incapable person too. Ethan Winters. Yeah, so even though he is a little more capable than the dweeb that you play as an Outlast, you still get that same feel. Now, I know once you get out of the Baker house, it starts to get super action-packed Resident Evil, so I get that. You know what? Honestly, I'm not mad if we let Outlast go further, but like,
I
woo!
can't. So I personally can't do it, and I know it's ironic because Resident Evil. One of the biggest criticisms for Resident Evil 7 is that it's not a lot of enemy variety.
Yeah.
But there was thematic variety.
Yes.
There was like, so that is what is giving it the edge to me because
Mhm.
there was a lot more things that I could fear
Mm-hmm.
in Resident Evil 7 compared to Outlast. Because for me, like once you make it past one section of Outlast, like all the enemies do the same thing. It's just they just chase you.
Yes.
like, that's it. That's it. Like they don't harm you in different kinds of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Or make the game challenging in a different way. Like you hide from them all the exact same way.
Yeah.
I have the winner.
Who is that?
Any movie set with Alec Baldwin.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that concludes today's podcast. Thank you so much. We've ended this podcast quite a few times today.
So I'm a very big supporter of the customer always being right. If the chat says Outlast, I'm willing to change my vote.
Oh, I'm not. And
But
it's
I mean,
only
they
two people.
outvoted.
It's 2-1-2.
Y'all voted.
It's 2-1-2.
Well, Nate, what do you think? He doesn't have a horse in this race.
Did you look? Flip a coin then? I don't
We
know.
can't
Like I
figure
would be
this
like, I just couldn't say Outlast. I mean, I know you want to give it to him because they're indie.
No, look. I mean, not if, is it even indie anymore? I don't know.
I mean, when Outlast first
Budget
came out,
wise,
it was
well, yeah,
indie.
the first
It was
Outlast
indie.
was absolutely
It was
indie.
definitely indie.
But
Is that the one where you start off with just the flashlight and you're walking into, or what game?
you're walking into like an asylum.
Into
Asylum,
an asylum.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have played about 5 minutes of that game.
Okay, were you scared?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't do. I mean,
You don't gotta be ashamed. It's just us and the chat.
Okay. if I don't know, like so Resident Evil 7 didn't
I
make me
punched
want to
my
put
TV.
down. Didn't make me want to put down the controller.
And that's what I'm saying. So if the grade criteria is just which one was more scary, I think pound for
I just feel
pound,
like
Outlast was
that one
scary.
biggest scare moment doesn't beat the rest of the 7 had to offer. But I'll acquiesce. I will.
You make a good point because I mean, like, and it's hard to differentiate.
The types of fear, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it definitely hits on different themes. So
Like you can't
like I
skip.
said, Resident Evil 7 had different types of ways that, you know,
Mhm.
so it all depends on what your phobias are for
Mhm.
7. Outlast just focused on one type of phobia,
Mhm.
and I think it did it very, very well in the beginning,
Mhm.
but it just lasted so long that it just became more like, I don't know, like the fight or flight mode type thing.
Yeah, so Outlast definitely was more so they leaned on like the jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think the perfect the moment to me that like culminates Resident Evil 7's horror version of horror is the birthday tape. Where like you're in that like kind of like Saw area.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're just the whole time
Mm-hmm.
you're like you're anticipating like it is happening, and like you run through this room the whole time like scared to death, anticipating this thing that's going to eventually happen, and really it doesn't come, but they spend the whole time
Mm-hmm.
gauging and kind of like going up and building
Mhm.
it up and building that tension, and like normally something horror based you can't stay up here that long. You have to eventually reach the plateau and come back down. But that moment kept you up here.
I just feel like they took what PT did and did it really, really well.
Yes.
They did. It's the PT we never got.
I think I'm back. I think I'm back on the RE7
It's
train.
the PT we never got.
I think I'm back on the RE7 train. I think I want to say... and it's just the better game. I get Outlast is more... I see now I don't even want to say it's more scary.
so I think too, it depends the environment that you play it in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're sitting in the dark, lights out, completely out, TV,
Yeah.
whatever, but you're playing it like on North Avenue, you're not scared.
Yeah. And see, and that's another thing, like, if I play Outlast in the dark and I turn the game off, I am now worried about walking through my house.
So So my friend, because he played the RE7 demo,
Yeah.
right? And so I made him play. He's not into hard stuff at all, right? I made him play RE7 demo, and there was a moment when Jack Baker walks past the doorway in the hall.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you got to go out there now. He was like, why? I was like, I was like, that's where you have to go. Like, he was like, but he's out there. And like he just handed the controller back to me. He was like, I don't know what to do. Like, clearly I lost the game. Like, he was like, I can't go back and I can't go forward.
That's such a good amalgamation of like gamer logic. Like in a real world, I'm not going out there.
He was like, I lost. Like he just handed it back to me.
I don't want to get to the part where I get murdered. I just want to just game over right here. Yeah, dude, I think I'm back with you. I think
chat hates us. And it's only Trisket and Hino. We can talk to them.
If Hino was here, he would say F the chat. So let's embody our inner Hinokaga.
Which is funny because since he's not here, he's saying go with the chat.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet you do say that. You jerk. RE7.
We're going to have hell to pay in the chat after this. In our private chat. Our MVP chat.
Moves on to the final round.
Okay.
Last semifinal matchup: Resident Evil 2, Silent Hill 2. Two bangers, classic bangers.
Now I will say I don't really have a dog in this fight because I didn't play either one.
All right, so
I know what I thematically want to go with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want the fight of RE7 versus RE2.
No.
Really?
I want Silent Hill.
Why you say that?
So I'm into the Silent Hill lore.
Yes.
Okay. And the movies were ass, but it was great moments.
Yes.
They were great moments.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've always known about Silent Hill, like growing up. Like I just didn't own one. And so I do believe that, in fact, isn't this like one of the longest video game debates anyway? Like, what's scarier, Resident Evil versus Silent Hill?
Yes, I would say so.
And I think it's just fitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think RE2 would even make a compelling argument in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Not the original nor the remake that we have. So
yes.
I'm leaning to Silent Hill because it's a different. Again, I'm looking at the different types of horror that we're looking at right now.
So again, if we take it down, we break down the argument in like its simplest form, which one is more scary?
And RE2 is what introduced Pyramid Head, right?
Silent Hill 2.
I'm sorry, Silent Hill.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Silent Hill 2 introduced Pyramid, one of the most iconic video game figures ever. So that's what I'm leaning towards.
Hino said he's been ducking Silent Hill his whole gaming career. It's scarier.
I recommend. So the thing is, like, I definitely recommend if you're a horror game fan. I want to recommend Silent Hill 2, but graphically, it did not age well. It really looks like ass.
This is you talking about graphics?
When I say
consistent.
So no. So graphically, like I love. You know, when graphics like look like humble and like you can look at it, but like that's a 2-man team.
Oh, that's what you call it. I'm going to coin that phrase. We need to put that in chat. With the little gold coins. We're like humble graphics.
But Silent Hill 2 on that PS1, I think it was a PS1 game. That thing is like fugly to the point where like you can't discern what is what.
Did they get a remake?
You know what? It did get remastered on the 360 and PS3.
Okay, so it has some.
So yeah, maybe I haven't played the remakes, the remasters.
Because I think it came doubled with Silent Hill 3.
Yes,
remastered,
2 and 3.
Right. Okay.
Are all on one disc or whatever. So yeah, check those out. Maybe they're a little graphically better, but this thing. So Silent Hill 2. The PS1 was so underpowered that they had to hide the fact that the graphics were ugly with like heavy fog. So that's where Silent Hill gets its thematic look.
From.
Yeah, from that fog, because they're hiding the fact
that they made it part of the story.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
So here's something. I think next year, in October, we need to do 12-hour live stream in the dark playing different scary games.
I'm with it. I don't think I have a tournament.
Like-
coming
like
up
he-
next
yeah.
October.
Why do you hate me?
Close the shop.
We don't hate
Cut the
you.
lights
This
out.
sounds perfect.
No, Nate was like, when we were doing the Nitro Gummy Bear Challenge, like, I am clearly dying. And he's like, already about to rip the other gummy bear in half, like, all right, now we got to eat this one too. No!
I should have split mine in half with you.
I'm never doing that. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. But I definitely wasn't
No,
doing it
we
again
got
that
to
same
chip
day.
next time. That's going to be even crazier.
So, again, we're going off topic, but when we make it to 500 follows, we are going to do a 24-hour stream. Yeah, do a sound thing.
I tried to tell him. I was like,
Do a
the
sound
cheers,
thing.
the cheers.
No, so yeah, so we're gonna do a 24-hour stream. Well, we'll start planning it once we make it to 500 follows, and I think instead of just volunteering spicy mouth voluntarily, we're gonna have a bunch of like community rewards where like, hey, you donate these kind of coins, we'll do this, or somebody, not me, will eat something painful, and like other.
Wait, I'm sorry. My mouth just went again because Trisket is a real strategist.
What did she do?
She just redeemed an in real life word band for.
Wow! Wow! I gotta put this replay on like Spotify, you
We
jerk.
can't even say it. We can't even say the game in the finals.
Wow. Well, that word band is only for 10 minutes, so maybe we just stretch this conversation about RE2 and Silent Hill 2. No, we're not gonna do that. I think I agree with you that Silent Hill 2 should move on to the finals, and because, like you said, it's the most unique game left. And I honestly say, if we were putting it next to Resident Evil 2 and legit we're just asking which one's more scary, it's Silent Hill 2 hands down. That thing is horrifying.
And you know it's based on the place in Pennsylvania, right?
I think I did know that.
Yeah. So I've learned this from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really made me like even like Silent Hill stuff even more. Like I said, I never played it, but just like the hauntings that's been going on in America. I can't wait. Now, I really can't wait until video games start exploring some of the drowned cities that America has because of racism. Like that shit is going to be insane. Because there's a few of them where it's like, you know, people just walk too close near the edge and like they just wind up drowning and dying. But yeah, it's like over 15 drowned cities in America.
Who broke that story? That was recent that story broke. I can't remember. But
So
yeah,
I can't wait till 10, 12 years from now when video games start exploring that.
So we need to start our own dev company.
yes.
MAP Dev.
Yeah. And start the
And then
genre.
it'll be indie.
We would
So
technically
you
be
wouldn't
indie.
buy it, but you'd have to stop.
You would become the thing you hate most.
So don't hate indie games. Look, I like them. I play indie games. It's just that it's really, really hard for a game company to sell me on an indie game. I think when I'm looking at a state of play, when I'm looking at video game awards, anything, don't waste my time. That's how I feel.
So I think that would be a statement that would be like objectively true, maybe like a decade to 15 years ago, because the bar for indie games as far as like quality was like pretty on average down.
It was like, look, they can jump.
Everything's pixel art. Everything is.
It's like, look at this platformer game.
But,
isn't it amazing?
But indie games now, like the quality of them, especially like the top tier ones, they are really good. They're gorgeous. They control well for the most part. Most of them, the ones I play.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But until there's an indie game that can give me the kind of experiences that I've had with God of War or Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 14.
That's impossible.
I don't So clearly, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, like
Those are all games with like $1 million budgets.
Bayonetta did not have no damn $1 million budget.
Bayonetta was published by Sega.
Part 1.
Part 1 was published by Sega.
No.
Part 1 was made by Platinum Games.
Yes.
They're not broke.
Back then they were. Have you seen them?
Was
graphics?
that Platinum Games' first game? No, because they made what was their first game? I think they made Mad World for the Wii. That was an indie game. Do you remember that?
No.
It was a good game. That you'll never hear of again because it was on the Wii and nobody's gonna report that. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 to the finals where it goes against the game that we can't name because some jerk claimed
That's some real
Outlast.
strategist right there. I
No.
gotta give it a try. As angry
The
as I
game
am
that
about it, like they
outlasted
deserve
Outlast.
an award. for that.
the game that introduced
Can we
Ethan-
say 7 Evil Resident? Is that a possibility?
Biohazard 7.
Biohazard 7.
Yes.
Japan.
Now, jerk,
Yeah, we got it.
figured you out. Biohazard 7 versus Silent Hill 2 to decide which is the scariest game of all time. I would be it is a tough sell for me to put Silent Hill 2 over Biohazard 7.
Oof, like I said, I didn't play it, so I can't,
I love it. I appreciate what it did for me when I first played it. I love the Silent Hill franchise.
Hino
with this
Kaga
part
just redeemed it in real life word ban.
for the B word.
For the B word.
I'm running out of synonyms. What do they call that game in China?
7 residents of evil. 7 evil residents.
The Ethan Winter story.
House of the Dead.
Yeah. So now we can't say either title for the game that's going to win is the champion. You can't stop this.
Housemate Siantha.
It is inevitable. All y'all at home that aren't jerks in the chat,
It deserves.
Capcom's
I
game.
think it deserves because it became critically acclaimed. One.
Yeah.
The Go Tell Aunt Rhody, the soundtrack. Oh my god,
Mhm.
that was amazing. And it definitely inspired other video game developers to pursue the PT formula even more. Funny enough.
It was a even though for some it doesn't seem like a risky move because like you pointed out, horror game genre was going in that route of first person, weak protagonist, kind of walking sim-esque scary games. But this was a very risky move for that Resident Evil team.
Yes.
And at the time, Resident Evil really lost itself. Like RE6 was kind of like a little more inspired by the movies.
It tried to do everything.
Yeah.
And the best campaign was Leon's, which was more traditional.
Yes.
So
yeah, 6 lost its way, and then it did those micro games, the Revelation games, which kind of like lost their way. And this was Capcom saying, "We didn't forget how to make scary games.
yeah.
Here you go. Do this scary ass part." And you know what? Now that I think about it in hindsight, Capcom's marketing is so weird because they only market like the first quarter of a game, and they make you believe like that's the whole game. And it's really not. Like they do that. They did it
Square
again.
could learn from that because Square will tell you the whole damn story.
Yeah.
Before the game releases.
Because with Resident Evil Village, I can say Resident Evil. I just can't say Resident Evil in the 7. So Resident Evil Village did the same thing because when they did all that marketing and they showed off Lady Dimitrescu.
Made it seem like she was the main villain.
Yes.
And I would have loved that.
And she, like, spoiler alert, dies in like the first 3 hours.
Oh damn.
Oh, did you not know that?
Nah, I didn't know.
Oh
that
shit.
was the first 3 hours.
It's pretty quick.
I knew she died. First of all, I'm a big fan of this.
Okay, all right.
I didn't know it was the first 3 hours though. I thought it was like
so
6
like
hours in.
it's four I don't want to say mini bosses, but like it's 4 bosses and 1 big bad. And each of them represent like a quarter of the game.
Yeah,
So you're like,
very
so
familiar.
she's like
So she's right.
She's
so
gone.
they made it. It's not even, and to their credit, it wasn't even their fault, because the same thing happened with the Devil Wears Prada film. Amazing film if you never seen it. But the same thing happened with the Devil Wears Prada. Like, they had released like the very beginning parts of that film, and like Miranda Priestley took off, and they never even had to talk about the rest of the film in trailers. Like, they just kept rerunning those clips, and it took off just off of that alone. So Lady Dimitrescu had the same effect on people, so they went with it.
Big booty vampire. Is our 10 minutes up? When was that claimed? What time was that claimed?
I don't have a time check in chat for when things are redeemed.
It doesn't say it for you, Nate.
No, I don't. It doesn't.
We're gonna assume it's 10 minutes. Resident Evil 7 wins. Resident Evil 7 is the scariest game of all time.
Damn.
Science dictated it. It's non-disputable. We did the math. Resident Evil 7, scariest game of all time.
Yeah.
This show kind of ran long. We didn't even get to the main topic, but that's okay because we'll push that to next week where we'll start putting together the MAP awards. We still got a long time because we can't put the cart before the horse. We still have two very big games that we have to wait on in Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite. I know. Here you go. Sony boy. Rolling his
Look. I'm not going to lie. I am enticed by Halo. I just never owned a console at the same time Halo came out.
Oh, damn. And you don't got a PC either.
No.
Yeah, this one is day and date on PC too. But yeah, I played that beta and I can only speak to the multiplayer alone, but that multiplayer was fun as hell.
So
Fun as hell.
One thing that I do have to ask you, you're playing through Condemned recently again, right?
Yes.
What is that experience like going back?
It's scary.
Is it like PT? Like, does it have, because it has some of the walking simulator thing, first person, like.
Shockingly, so not the graphics are butt ugly, but as far as the mechanics and the design, it aged pretty well. It's not so. One of Condemned's big push, like marketing pushes, was you could grab anything off the wall and use it as a weapon. You could take this 2x4, you could take a pipe off the wall. But in hindsight, like 15 years later, it wasn't a lot. It's just conveniently like a pipe was always on the wall, or like a conduit, or a piece of 2x4. Like there's really like 10 weapons you can use. Like it really wasn't that like you could pick up anything. You couldn't. But I think it's fun. I think Condemned got eliminated super early too. Get out of here, IG. Y'all don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it was up against. It probably made sense.
Hold on, let me look that up real quick. We're really like running heavy, but Condemned was going up against. It was in third person shooter, so it should be here. Last of Us, Manhunt. Oh, it didn't even. I was tripping. It didn't even make it. Oh no, it's a first person, idiot.
Yes.
It went up against Alien Isolation and lost.
Oh, I can see that.
I guess whatever. Yeah. You win this round, IG.
I can see that. Good job.
Alien Isolation's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Whatever. What else does somebody else claim? We gotta go. What else? What am I getting banned for doing now?
No. It's contribute to the Play Sonic is Sonic.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah. We're at 60%.
We're at 8,000.
Holy shit! I gotta do it. I really have to actually eventually do that.
Yes. And we should make you do it in this room with like the orange background, because that's like fitting, but also super hot.
So for those of you that I guess maybe will be listening to this audio version,
temperature.
For those of y'all that don't, so there is a 10,000 MAP coin community goal on our Twitch that if we reach it, I will stream a Sonic the Hedgehog game dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog, and we are 2,000 points away.
I redeemed 2,000 points today.
I hate everybody. I hate it. What do I do? Is it because I like indie games? Is it because I don't like stuff that y'all don't like? Is it the Amico people? Is this the Amico people coming to get me?
This your fault, man.
What?
First of all, you bought the suit. Like,
Fuck.
he thought he was gonna have sexy time alone with the suit.
I'm gonna at least play. I'm gonna at least play a good Sonic game. I'm gonna play Sonic Generations.
I was about to say, how you gonna do that?
Wow.
You're gonna build a Sonic game?
Wow.
Like-
Sonic Generations was good.
Oh, Trisket says it's because you robbed Outlast.
Wow. Why are all my takes spicy? Like, I don't think I'm saying anything super spice. I really think everything I'm saying, I'm not like some sort of Twitter troll that's like, I'm trying to get hate likes. I'm just talking.
And
I'm just
that's what's
talking.
wrong. And
Is that the problem?
yeah?
I just don't
Like,
want to
you
talk.
just have the wrong opinion consistently. Like, and you know,
There's just no way.
there's parties for people like you.
It's just no. Maybe those are my people. Maybe I do need to go see Candace Owens. Y'all were secretly my friends this whole time. That was the show, y'all.
Yes.
Like I said, next week we'll go back. We'll try to touch on this, picking the categories for the MVP awards. We're still, like I said, a couple of weeks away before we really gotta like the pedal to the metal and get these MVP awards going. I gotta get a tux. You gonna dress up? No,
You know, I may have some dress up money at that time, so sure. Maybe.
I don't know. It's hot in here. Maybe I'll just wear a polo.
I mean, we only
You
got
got
to dress up
tuxedo
from the
shirt.
top.
It's
Yeah,
just
we
the
only
shirts
gotta,
that have the tuxedo.
Yeah, like a tuxedo T-shirt.
we
Yeah.
can wear like shorts underneath. Like we just got it at the top. and blazer it. We're good.
But yeah, tune in next week when we're going to pick out categories for the MAP awards. If you're in the Baltimore area, swing past this Saturday starting at 11 a.m. The MAP Fighting Game Monthly is going to start. And it's also the same day as Marzapalooza. Halloween-themed Marzapalooza from noon until. That's what it
Yes.
says.
There's also a costume contest.
Costume contest with a cash pot prize.
Absolutely. Bring your skills.
Bring your skills. 2,000 more, and I guess I may dress as Sonic at that thing. But
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get it that day.
no. So
We gotta
yeah.
practice your sounds, like for Sonic.
Gotta go fast.
Can you also program like the coins, losing your rings?
Is that what he says? Gotta go fast.
Sonic X was amazing. Gotta go fast as Sonic X.
See, I'm from the generation where we watched the Jaleel White, the
Cartoon.
Steve Urkel cartoon.
Oh yeah, we don't. We
yeah,
don't
that
go
Steve
back that
Urkel
far.
was the voice of Sonic. In two separate cartoons, but only one of them was good. It was a Saturday morning one.
He
He's like
said they're just gonna feed you chili dogs.
super dark. Yeah, that's canon too. He eats So is it canon in the video games? Because like they never reference that he eats chili dogs in the game. It's only in the cartoon.
I have no idea. Sonic has been through so many iterations of life.
What is happening? Do you remember Sonic Underground where he had like 2 siblings and he never touched on that ever again? So weird.
And that again, so Sonic is more an idea as opposed to like an actual character.
Like Batman is an idea.
Like, exactly.
Anybody could be Batman. It's a suit.
Sonic exists in
For the
many
rings.
universes and doesn't exist at the same time. That's how you have to experience Sonic.
I am Sonic.
Yes.
Give me the rings.
Where is he?
But yeah, come on down this Saturday if you're here. If you're not, you can support us by shooting us a follow, shoot us a sub everywhere. MEP Game Tech at Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. I think that's all of them. YouTube.com/MEP Technologies. Go subscribe there. Join our Discord, baby. It's pretty fun, spicy. We're talking about a bunch of stuff. Dropping some dank ass memes.
Yes. So we can steal them and put them in our private chats.
Yeah.
It's all love.
I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. Monthly game tournaments every Saturday. I mean, once a month on Saturday. One of those Saturdays. It's 4 Saturdays. It's going to be on one of them. Duke, what are you doing?
I play Final Fantasy 14, the video game, and I'm about to start streaming it on my own Twitch channel,
Yeah.
Duke of Games, but not really much because I'll be streaming over on MAP Technology. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm Duke of Games. You can find me on stuff, and that's that. And
I think we technically did it. I think this was a show.
yeah, that's the show. Shout out to King Goddammit.
Yeah, King Godimus was here. Now he's not. Nate's here still.
I'm here. And I'm actually getting all decked out to the nines tomorrow because I've got a movie premiere.
Tell us about your movie.
Yes.
It's a comedy in the vein of House Party and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Thanksgiving Roast.
Mhm.
I'm going to the premiere tomorrow night in DC.
And he did not give us tickets.
They are still available
Damn.
for the second show. For the second show, the first show is
I
sold.
was about to say it's sold out.
First show is sold out. They added a second show by popular demand. I am excited. It will be available up on Amazon and Tubi Tuesday, November 2nd. So
Nice.
that's this upcoming Tuesday. So
Hell yeah.
listen to the podcast on Spotify. Check that out on Amazon. It'll be worth it. You'll laugh. It's hilarious. Yeah, I had fun filming it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Thanksgiving roast. Check that out.
Our team's doing big stuff here.
It has Trey Chaney, who is also Poop in The Wire.
Poop.
Poop.
I just like saying that. Poop. I've been the Charm City Champ. Duke Games. King God is out there somewhere. We are out. Peace out.